All right, let's just jump right into this explainer because today we're uncovering the secrets of an absolute monster. And I mean that in the best way possible. Deep in the dense canopy of the Amazon rainforest hides one of the most elusive and terrifying predators on Earth. We are talking about the Harpy Eagle. This bird is such a literal force of nature that entire troops of monkeys spend their lives looking over their shoulders, living in constant fear of the sky. Now, as we go through this, we're actually building up to a really rare, frankly incredible encounter. What exactly happens when the undisputed king of the sky comes face to face with the deadliest predator on the jungle floor? But hey, before we get to that ultimate showdown, we really need to wrap our heads around the sheer physical dominance of this bird. Because, being an apex predator isn't just about having a fierce attitude. You've got to have the hardware to back it up.
Just take a look at this and think about it for a second. We're talking about a bird flying through the trees with weapons on its feet literally the size of grizzly bear claws. It's crazy. These talons are built to strike with such blinding, lightning speed that poor, terrified monkeys honestly just don't even have a split second to react. But, as you'll see pretty soon, raw physical power, that's really only half the story here.
Part 1. Birth of a Predator.
Okay, so even the most terrifying monsters have to start somewhere, right? And in the Amazon, just making it through being born is a massive uphill battle. The whole journey kicks off with this incredible display of maternal instinct. Imagine a violent, hours-long storm just thrashing the giant jungle trees. The mother eagle absolutely refuses to budge, shielding her single, fragile egg with her own body. When it finally hatches, out comes this blind, incredibly weak little chick. From there, it's a super tense waiting game over the next few weeks and months as the chick slowly build its strength.
And this early stage really highlights what I think is the predator's actual greatest weapon: patience. See, while the mother is on 24/7 guard duty at the nest, the father has to go out and hunt. But catching food in the ultra-dense Amazon, that's not just about flying fast. It's his endless, motionless patience, literally waiting for the exact right millisecond to strike, that keeps his growing family from starving. It's an absolutely vital lesson that this little chick is going to need really soon.
Which brings us to part 2, clash with the boa. So every passing day, the chick gets a little stronger. But remember, the Amazon is a 360-degree battlefield. Threats come from everywhere. Enter a massive boa constrictor, slowly, silently slithering up their tree, and its eyes are locked dead on the nest. For the snake, this helpless chick is just an easy meal, one that could keep it fed for days. But well, the snake is completely oblivious to the mother eagle's iron resolve to protect her baby.
And let me tell you, the mother does not hesitate for a single second. The moment she spots the threat, she launches into flight and just unleashes those massive bear-like talons in this brutal mid-air clash. It is a huge risk for her for sure, but her relentless strikes finally force the giant snake to back down and retreat down the trunk. She secures the nest for the day, but it's a pretty stark reminder. In the Amazon, a victory really just buys you a little time until the next deadly challenge.
Moving on to part 3, the leap of faith.
All right, so weeks turn into months, and her growing eagle is finally covered in fresh feathers. But now it faces a totally new kind of terror, leaving the only home it has ever known. It has to stare down this dizzying drop. We're talking hundreds of feet straight down from the edge of the nest to the jungle floor. I mean, to become a master of the sky, you first have to completely conquer your fear of the ground.
So, the moment of truth finally arrives. The young bird steps to the edge, feels the wind, and just takes a completely blind leap. And it immediately plummets. It's this clumsy, totally terrifying freefall toward the ground. But frantically, it manages to grab a branch at the absolute last second, barely saving its own life. Honestly, it's a slightly embarrassing start. But hey, failure is just the very first step to mastering the sky. Over the next few days, it practices tirelessly, over and over, until it can finally fly with total confidence.
Part 4. Mastering the Hunt.
Now that it's fully airborne, the real work actually begins. The young eagle has to transition into a completely self-sufficient hunter. And it learns pretty fast that all that raw physical power, it's completely useless if you don't have the disciplined patience to go with it. The strategy is intense. It has to sit high above the canopy, staying perfectly still for hours on end, basically analyzing the whole jungle below before finally committing to a lightning-fast downward strike. But, mastering this technique definitely doesn't happen overnight. In fact, its very first attempt at hunting a monkey fails miserably. Why? Well, because the monkey spots the eagle at the very last second and just dodges out of the way. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's a vital lesson. Failure really is the ultimate teacher out here. The young eagle quickly learns that its prey is smart, it's fast, it lives in groups with dozens of eyes watching, and it is always on high alert.
So slowly but surely it refines its tactics. It learns to wait for a young monkey to drift just a little too far away from the protective group, completely avoiding those warning alarm calls. It also diversifies the menu a bit, successfully targeting slow-moving sloths. Now, a sloth's slow speed usually helps it hide, but once it's spotted, it's an easy energy-saving meal for the eagle. Through sheer patience and precision, the Harpy Eagle fully establishes its own sprawling new territory.
Which brings us to the grand finale, Part 5, Eagle versus Jaguar.
So our fully grown eagle is about to realize a really hard truth. It definitely isn't the only apex predator claiming this patch of the jungle. Picture this. You have two ultimate killers from completely different domains. Down on the ground, you've got the jaguar, moving silently through the shadows. Up in the canopy, the Harpy Eagle. And by pure random chance, they are converging on the exact same group of monkeys.
Now, the monkeys have absolutely no idea what is surrounding them. The jaguar looks up, sensing he isn't alone. The eagle looks down, spotting the big cat lurking in the shadows. But neither attacks immediately. Both of these veteran hunters default to their ultimate weapon, extreme patience. It's incredible. The entire jungle seemingly just holds its breath, waiting to see who is going to make the first move.
Suddenly, the stalemate is broken, and it's broken by the prey itself. An injured monkey panics, loses its footing, and slips. That one tiny sign of weakness triggers both predators at the exact same time. The jaguar lunges powerfully upward from the shadows, but the eagle? The eagle dives straight downward like a missile. Ultimately, it's the Harpy Eagle's absolute mastery of gravity, speed, and aerial precision that allows it to snatch the prey right out of the air, literally beating the jaguar to the punch.
It's just a breathtaking display of dominance, and it perfectly encapsulates exactly why this bird is the undisputed king of the Amazon sky. It really leaves us with this incredible realization, right? In a jungle absolutely filled with deadly, perfectly adapted monsters, literally nothing outpaces the patient, calculated strike of the Harpy Eagle. Which makes you wonder, what other incredible, hidden battles are unfolding in the canopy above us right now?